Welcome, internets, to the Place of Video Games podcast. It's your boy, Dat Ninja Dev, and I'm here with none other than Mr. Eat the Hype himself.
Currently
Elaine.
Eating hype.
Nice. Elaine is out with the stomach bug. Delvin is gone till the end of the year, but we are not alone.
Unless there's a zombie apocalypse.
There is that.
He said he would record if there was a zombie apocalypse.
He did?
He did.
Oh, interesting. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. Let him have the month off. Let him be free. Let him be free. The man does a lot. But yeah,
hey, I'm confused. I was told I was here for the Yumi and Capri Canadian Christmas Cavalcade. I mean, that's why I set up the tree. I'm not sure what this is.
Definitely get your wires crossed.
Yeah, sorry. That definitely is not what's happening here.
Okay. Well, yeah. I guess I can talk about stuff anyway. You know.
Yeah, sure. Why not? But as you can see, we're not alone. We brought one of the founding fathers of Play Some Video Games, the culinary master himself, none other than Justin
Warner.
Nope, not him. Not him. Can confirm he's videotaping in California right now, so it is not Justin Warner. Sure, but yeah, sure. Donnie dragged me out of retirement for this. So he said, "Listen, everybody is gone. You're our last hope, Obi-Wan. Please don't leave me here like with just Dev." Yeah.
Oh, Hobik, you're right. This is the HR manager. We got to be on our best behavior today.
Oh, not tonight. Not tonight.
Yeah,
I'm off tonight.
Oh, he's taking the HR hat off. He said, "Look here, I'm here for the shenanigans and the foolishness."
I got the PSVG hat on instead. No HR hat.
It's Christmas.
That's what I want to hear. It's Christmas.
Damn it.
It's definitely Christmas in Kevin's house. Look at all that. Mm-hmm. I know you guys normally go all out for Christmas. You are.
Yeah, this is just one room. This is the living room. So yeah, for anybody who hasn't been around that long, we do decorate. Every single room in my house is decorated for Christmas. So kind of like what you see behind Donnie. Just imagine that Christmas blew up all over my entire house, and every room has a different theme too. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Where does all that stuff go when you're done? I mean, there's
storage
room
we have
dedicated for that, right?
Yeah, it's a storage room we put all of our holiday decorations, but Christmas and Halloween take up the most. It's those big storage like Rubbermaid bins you get like Home Depot and stuff. Mm-hmm. For Christmas it is 7 or 8 of those, and then we have 2 trees that obviously don't fit in the bins. So there's a tree up here, there's a tree downstairs as well. So yeah,
and that's just Christmas decorations.
Just Christmas. Yep. Halloween is 4, so it's not quite. It's a level of Christmas, but yeah.
I think I have 2 Christmas bins, just 2, and then everything else gets 1. So there's like 1 for the fall and 1 for the spring.
And we just go right from Halloween. It goes right to Halloween to a week later. Christmas decorations were up, so this has been up for a while now.
Wow, they are not playing around over there.
No, we don't.
Very nice, very nice. Well, it's good to have you back. It's been far, far too long to not have you on the airwaves. So it's good to see you, Kev. Glad you.
Thank you. Good to see you guys.
Yeah. And how are you this weekend or this afternoon, evening, whatever it is in your neck of the woods, Donnie? How are you? You look very busy and focused over there.
I'm okay.
You okay? You sure? You just
look
a little off.
A week.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm just I'm a little overwhelmed here lately, leading into the holiday. Just got too much going on, really. So
yeah, I totally feel you on that, man. It's been an interesting week.
Holiday crunch time.
The Tyus family, yeah. The crunch time, the grief. Like my wife's mother's birthday was this past weekend, so that was tough for her. Mm-hmm. Just a lot going on, and. Whew, yeah, I'm just looking for that reset button. I'm ready to just kind of get through the holidays. So I feel you there, Donnie. I feel the overwhelmness, man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get through at least the Christmas break to get a nice like little 4-day vacation, and then I got a peach drop, so I'll be doing New Year's Eve too. So I won't get much of a respite until after then. But yeah, I don't know. It's like my boss trying to shove like a year's worth of catching up in 3 weeks before we cross over. And I already told you guys, I mean, not that anybody cares on the podcast, but like I'm switching over jobs. Yeah. So like they approved the new positions Friday. So we had to apply to like today, like as soon as they go live, we have to put in like immediately because they have like a 12-hour. They're trying to set it up to where nobody else applies but us,
Yeah.
right? Which I'm not concerned about, but some of the other people on my staff might be. There's nobody more qualified for my job than me. Like, nobody wants to meet that person. So, but it's your resume, it's your birth certificates, it's your marriage certificates, it's all of your training certificates. It's, they got to do everything all over again. And orientation, they're trying to shove everything in before the 22nd so they can get us over before the new year. So we will qualify for our cost of living bonus that all county employees get next year. So they're like trying to shove, like months and months of HR into like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just start that like last month, the month before? Like they knew this was happening. It's like, why shove it
they
into
did
the
it
last?
because they've been
did?
going to the Board of Commissioners trying to approve.
okay.
It's like a budget takeover. It's essentially the county like taking over the agency. So they're committing to salary requirements forever, like indefinitely. It's like a $350,000 buyout essentially from one company to the other. It's like the same company, but it's a different funding line. So it has to be approved by the commissioners. It's got to go through HR. It's got to go through the county attorney. It's got to go. Everything's got to get done. IT's got to put the positions up. Like there's so many layers, just red tape. So
That's a lot to have to deal with during the holidays. That's it's not right. It's not right at all.
Yeah, and then when
And plot twist, Devin applied for your job.
We had an ammonia leak yesterday. We had to evacuate like a half mile.
Oh God, really?
With COVID
for ammonia? Wow.
and Omicron, and like it just keeps coming.
Fuck.
So
2021 is basically just 2020's leftovers reheated and
Yeah,
sent back
which
out.
makes me nervous for 2022 at this point because
don't call it.
I don't see the light at the end of that tunnel. Really, like let's be honest.
Right? Yeah. Anyways, enough of this depressing ass stuff, man. Let's talk about some video games.
Sorry, 2 weekends in a row. Sorry, guys.
It's all gravy. It's all gravy. Life happens. Life keeps going. But so the video games. Kevin, you have been gone for a while from the airways, but you have been doing a lot of reviews and a lot of gameplay. So what have you been up to these past couple of weeks? What have you been playing?
Yeah, I mean, it's thankfully reviews have kind of wound down for the year. There's not really much coming out. Like Halo was like the last big drop, I think, for the year. And there's going to be some indies and stuff, but thankfully I'm able to take a break because it seemed like every big game that came out this last quarter got thrown my way. So I'd been very busy with your Battlefields, your Call of Duties, your Guardians, all that stuff, Far Cry's, played and beat all of them. So I was in kind of a lull. I found myself being like, well, I got nothing to play. I felt weird. I'm like looking at my backlog. I'm like, all right, where do I start for stuff that I hadn't been able to play? And I kind of just said, let's go back to Hades. I don't know why. I still love that game. I started playing on Xbox again, or PlayStation. No, Xbox. Playing on Xbox. So experiencing that again. But Fortnite got its hooks in me again with the end of Chapter 2, flipping over to Chapter 3. So I know that's a story later on, so I guess we'll talk more about it then. But all I'll say is, okay. I'll say, so it got its hooks in me. I've been playing through the last season, but kind of getting tired of it. And I really thought I was going to be like, all right, I'm not going to play anymore. I'm going to stop after this chapter's done. I completed the battle pass, got everything, unlocked everything. I'm like, I think I'm done for a while. Nothing really had grabbed me. And then they do the end game event where basically The Rock shows up. The Rock had been this mysterious character that had been alluded to for a while as the Foundation. And basically he saves Jonesy and the island flipped over.
The Foundation.
Yes, exactly. That's a little on the nose there, but that's Fortnite for you. But the island flipped over, revealing a whole new place with the Daily Bugles there from Spider-Man, and just a whole different landscape that we've seen before. So it didn't go back to the old map. It didn't remain the new map. It's all totally different. But they've enhanced a lot of things. The guns are better. There's different guns. You actually have like scopes now besides the sniper rifle. So you have like the red dot sights on certain guns and stuff, which is really cool. Like totally ripping off other games. Look, let's be honest, but
they cut all of their apps are over to Unreal now, right?
Yes,
everything is running Unreal now. So that's a big change.
So,
that's why you're seeing the new changes in physics and mechanics.
Exactly.
Like
so you got
the master class of how to constantly reinvent yourself. They
really are.
Killing it.
I mean, people joke about it too,
but
saying dead game, but they are.
It's like an endless dev cycle, though.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Like there are trade-offs that come with that. And these poor people are just constantly going. There is no off time.
Hey, but they're employed. There's no layoffs going on over there for damn sure. Like, that's the
Not
thing. It's
hearing
like
no
you're right. They're
layoffs.
busy.
There's
Yeah,
no Me
you
Too
could-
stuff that we're hearing about. So
Nope.
hopefully
At least
people are
not yet.
getting paid and not being harassed. Hopefully it's
I'm not
a
even
nice
going to Google that,
environment.
but
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't be so
I'm not
sure
gonna.
about that.
I mean, they're.
I
they're,
said
they're
that we've heard.
whole
I haven't
drummer-
heard.
Bold
anything.
claims, bold strategy, Cotton.
I mean, they're just
depends
fighting
on-
Apple. That's really the only big news story they got going on right now. But
That's true.
yeah, I mean, they added sliding physics. So like right out of Apex, they got that going now. Spider-Man with the web slinging gun, which isn't available yet. So everybody's talking like, oh, web slinging be better than Avengers, which I'm sure it is anyway, because the Avengers Spider-Man is garbage. But keep in mind, people can't use that yet. So you're seeing that one clip over and over again on how the web slinging is better. You haven't really seen it. It's just that what they've released as far as video. But that's coming. So yeah, I'm back all in that. It's just a cool experience. They've added more lore to the game, giving you more story that has, believe it or not, for a battle royale to have a story, but they've continued to push that along, the narrative there. So that's going. And then, I mean, the big news was Halo today. So Halo dropped.
What's that?
I beat
Heard
it.
of it.
I'm just kidding. I didn't beat it.
I was gonna say, dang.
No, I played like an hour and a half of it. I mean, so far so good. Looks great. It has frozen up on me. It didn't crash, and I thought it was going to. Like the game just mid combat just stopped, and I was like, oh, waiting for it to freeze and like go back to the main screen, and it didn't. It was like 5 seconds, hung up, and then just kept going. But that's the only hiccup I've had, audio, video, anything wise. So it looks good, plays good, handles fine. The narrative hasn't grabbed me yet, coming as like a Halo newbie, but the combat feels good and the weapons are fine. So definitely something I'm going to play through at least. And from what I understand, it's not super long. So yeah, excited to dive back into it. I was hoping to be able to play it like all day today, but they kind of dropped us with that. You're not going to be able to play it till 1 o'clock, and then it pushed an update that was small. And then when I went to boot up the game, it's like, oh wait, you have to download the campaign now too. I'm like, well, what was that last update? Why don't you just download the campaign? So yeah, you couldn't download the campaign until 1. So I had to wait a little bit. So I only got to play like an hour and a half. But so far, so good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did a global launch all at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, but if it's just a campaign and it's not like online,
Right. It's not multiplayer.
like,
So I don't.
why was it an issue? Like interesting.
Why was
Could have done a global launch at midnight
Hang on a
too.
second.
Just like
why was
Dev gets
what an
playing
issue? Why did you have to download it?
I'm saying, like, why didn't it let
had to
you
download it.
preload and all of that stuff and everything? Normally, games like this, they launch at 9 or midnight for you guys.
Yeah.
You're able to preload and then get in, but like this was like this weird rolling, like.
I think it's
Download?
because it wasn't rolling. It went live globally, worldwide at 1 p.m. Eastern. So it went live everywhere at 1 p.m. Eastern.
1 p.m. Eastern?
Whatever that is in
Strange
your time zone,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
when it went live.
It's still just a weird
That's
time.
an
Like, why not
interesting time zone.
midnight?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, 1 o'clock, middle of the day. Like,
That I don't
What-
know. I don't know if there was
yeah, 1 o'clock, middle of the day in our time at least. Not
probably
everybody, but-
probably a very technical server related reason if I had to guess.
I'm sure.
But yeah, I mean, you had to download the campaign, and the reason you had to update it and go through the app is I think it's because they're merging 2 player bases that had early access to one app like 2 months ago
Yeah.
and an updated app today. So yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta-
but I mean, normally
it's not-
you're able to preload and have everything, and you're just downloading that
Yeah,
little
and the
patch.
game
I
just
expected that little
unlocks.
patch to come through. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I
they
totally
said
expected that 2 gig
I
patch,
don't know
not
why.
the 18 gig.
Like I said,
yeah.
I'm sure there's a reason.
Oh yeah, there definitely
But,
is. It's just,
but they
seems weird.
definitely communicated. They tell us for a week there's no preloads on the campaign. I think it's to stave off, and I also think it's just coming in. I think it came in hot. Like the build that reviewers played isn't the build that we're playing today. You know, I think that's a big part of it too. You know, it's not. I'm also playing it. I'm not having any issues. I have had 0 issues actually, in terms of performance or resolution or freezing or anything. I played this game for 5 hours today, and didn't have any issues. So I stopped to like eat dinner, make dinner, but I left it on. You know, so I probably played for like 3.5 hours. But yeah, I'm through. I've opened up the next area, so like I'm through the prologue and then through the opening area, and yeah, it's I don't know. I don't really know what to say. I think they nailed it. It's Halo. It feels like Halo. It looks like Halo. It's not the prettiest game I've ever seen, but it's definitely very nice. There's nothing wrong with it, the way that it looks. I think that they've done a really good job. It's open world shooter, you know. A part of me wants to say I feel like the balance might be leaning towards like a co-op adventure, because there are just swarms of enemies, just a lot of folks. Like when you get into the tower and stuff, there's a lot of people. I'm just mowing through waves and waves and waves. It seems never ending. But then I feel like folks might just say, but I'm not good at it or something, or I'm not used to it either. So, what do I know? What do I know?
I mean, you got to wait 6 months for the co-op anyway, so you don't get used to it yet.
Yeah, and I mean, when I was playing Halo 4, there were sections where there were lots of enemies, but I feel like this has definitely ratcheted up a bit. I feel like that's probably a good thing for players. That's probably what they want. I've had a lot of tense moments. I've had a lot of moments where I died and I was like, ah! And I've had a lot of moments where I killed somebody like on my, I was a shot away from dying too. So in that regard, it feels tense and rewarding. I'm having fun playing it. It's very good. Mm-hmm. I'm digging the story. It's simple so far, which I like. Having played all of the Halo campaigns except for 5, I didn't finish 5s. I've never really understood what the hell was going on. I understand exactly what's going on in this one, which I appreciate quite a bit.
That's true. Yeah,
the weapon is great. She counters Master Chief really, really well. She's very charming and bubbly and funny, and that's
the weapon is Cortana. Cortana 2,
Cortana.
basically.
The new
it's
Cortana.
his AI.
That's what it's called.
It's called the weapon.
Weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird too, but yeah, it's weapon.
And she's great. And I think between him, her, and the pilot, there's a lot of good dialogue going on. The new dialogue for the grunts and the enemies is fantastic. It's probably my favorite part of the game so far. When they kill you or when you're on the upper end, the shit they say is just absolutely hilarious. It's very, very fun.
Are the grunts the little guys that sound like elves or whatever? Like, those are the ones that annoy me. But I like the other guys.
Those are really funny. And then the Banished, they're very, very good. They'll kill you and they'll be like, I thought you were legendary and stuff like that. And you're like, God damn it. I got to get back there and kill that guy. It's good. It's very, I think they did it. Halo's cool again. They did it. Like, I was very concerned for this game for the last 6 months after its long story dev cycle and its delay and everything that they've put behind it and what it means. They nailed it. This is a very good game. And that's just again, this is my first impression. I haven't finished it, but what I've played so far is quality. It's a very good quality shooter. It stands there with Gears and all the other shooters you play.
Cool. Very cool.
Definitely
Glad you're enjoying it.
It's not Far Cry. It's Far Cry-ish, but it's not Far Cry. They got little bases that you can unlock and it kind of opens up the map a little bit more. But I mean, the thing is it's open world, but so far there's not a whole lot out there. It's pretty linear. And you're basically doing, like when I think of open world games, you've got a lot that you can do. Like in Far Cry, you do hunting and side quests and stuff like that. There's nothing like you're just shooting folks. Like it's literally just go to this dot, shoot some folks, go to the next dot, shoot some more folks, go to the next dot, shoot some more folks. It's more like that.
The grappling hook is cool though. I like the grapple.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a feature. They make it a big part of the game.
Yeah, they do. I wasn't expecting to be highlighted so early, but yeah, they definitely cram it at you. But it seems
it's
to
a
work
core
pretty
mechanic.
Fun. Yeah.
You got to use it, and you got to learn how to use it. And you got to use it for traversal. You got to use it for combat. The dudes with the shields. If you don't have a plasma rifle, it's very effective there. I've already leveled mine up, which you can add more like stun abilities and longer duration and cut the cooldown. So you can definitely level it up and upgrade it and make it better. So it definitely makes it feel. It definitely changes the way I've played a Halo game, especially in traversal, like out in the open world, which is neat that it does have the open world thing where you can basically go anywhere. All right. I show up this really big base and I can get on the roof if I want to and shoot people. You can kind of go and do whatever you want. So in that regard, it does open up your ability to kind of plot your own plan.
Very cool. I might play it a little bit later. Just not jumping into it right now. Anything else you playing, Donnie, or has it just been all Halo? Yeah, I see you wrote.
It's all Halo today. Yeah, I played a lot today because I got my work done early and wanted the escape, and I'm going to play it a little bit more after we get done. I mean, I'm liking it a lot. I hope people realize that I'm liking it a lot. Good. It's very, very good. It possibly, I don't know, we'll see where the story goes and everything, but already it just feels way more cohesive and together. in a way that I've not really felt in a lot of Halo games before. Having played Combat Evolved, 3, Reach, 4, I've always felt like, I think it's because of the story and the gameplay, it's always kind of a little disjointed. You know, the vehicle combat section, and then you go to the door and you open the door. Now you're in a hallway shooter. You know, it's kind of got like that thing that I've always kind of associated with Halo. And this one feels way more cohesive from a story character to like the gameplay and what you're doing. Like as the world is opening up and I'm getting more missions, it all definitely like you get that liberation, you know, build back the forces, because it's like the world against Halo. I mean, the world's like just against Master Chief. Like you're an army of one until you kind of reclaim and build everything back up. And so far the story and the missions you're doing all kind of jive with that. You know, it all seems like it's like singularly focused on that objective so far. So, you know, I'm not seeing crazy people that I don't know who they are, where they came from. Like, you know, like who are these guys? And nothing like that is really happening. I think they've done a really good job of kind of setting the table without getting like really detailed and overly involved like Halo lore can be.
Yeah, they modernized it. It feels up to date. What still has that old Halo feel a little bit. So like experienced Halo players will still say this still feels familiar, but they modernized the mechanics of it to make it a little more newish. Like it doesn't feel as dated as some of the old ones as you were naming. Like just still feel even with the remaster.
Like on the story side, they definitely reached back and they kind of talk to you about some stuff that's happened before, but they don't do it in such a like defined complex vocabulary. Like they're not reaching back and pulling like names of people that you don't know, and it's like it's very high level, like high overview. So I feel like if you've played them all before, you're going to be like, I remember that. If you haven't played them all before, you're still going to be up to speed. Like you're like, oh wow, I guess that's what happened. You know, like, and you're not going to feel left out. Like I feel like anybody can play this. I don't feel like you've had to play a previous Halo. They definitely talk about stuff that's happened, but I feel like they keep it really, really vague and
high level.
So you don't have to be an expert to follow along with what's going on.
Trying to get the new generation to jump in and be like, this is my Halo.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yep. Cool.
I played a bunch of comfort food this week. I've had a rough couple weeks, so you know, I'm playing like NCAA football and PGA Tour golf and things like that. Just playing stuff that I also didn't want to, like, I've got a few games that I wanted to play before Halo came out. And because of work and all my commitments, I haven't got to it. So like, I didn't want to start anything. Mm-hmm. I am playing a game on my Switch called Northgard, which is like, it's like a civilization game.
Oh yeah.
A strategy game. It has a story mode, which is what I'm playing. It has an adventure mode and multiplayer mode. So like you diehard Civ fans, you can definitely do that. But I'm playing the story mode where you take over this clan and you have to build it up. And I mean, I have gotten this way with Sims Golf and Civ and things in the past. Like when I find the right one of these types of games, they get very addictive for me, and I'll just play them for like 6 hours. They're like nonstop. And this game definitely like put its hooks into me pretty hard for a couple of days. It was on sale during the Black Friday eShop sale. I got it for like $10. I think it's like $40. It's got really good reviews on Steam, and a lot of people on PC like it a lot.
Yeah, I got it on PC a while ago. It's fun. It's a good game.
Yeah, and the translation to Switch is great. I'm not having any issues. Like in the way that it's set up, it's really nice for controller, because you're not managing like individual like grids like you kind of do in Civ. Like everything's just basically kind of like an area, and then all of your actions in terms of building and everything are like mapped to a face button. And then they do a really good job of recommending you things like on your face buttons, like this is what's best for this territory right now. But if you want to build something else, like you can hop into like a radial wheel and you can kind of dive in, but they never really make you have to. So in that regard, it's a really good fit. So if you're looking for a game like that, if you want to try one, I'd highly recommend it. It's got, you know, cartoony, artsy graphics, got cutscenes and story and a whole dialogue and everything. It's procedural. Yeah, but it's fun. You get to Viking, you get to do different stuff. You know, you can mine, plant fields, you know, because you've got to have wood and food for the winter, or everybody starts dying. Last night, everybody started dying. Like my wood production just fell off a cliff, and I don't know why. I still haven't quite figured it out. but everybody just started dying left and right, and they're all just like, and they just fall on the field. I'm like, no, just get me to spring.
Somebody
you gotta
poisoned the
pillage
watering
more.
hole.
Yeah, and there's wolves and undead, and you get raided by rival clans and stuff like that. It's good stuff. It's good fun. Good game on Switch.
Nice. Yeah, as for me, I've played nothing. I have not had time to play anything at all. It's just been
I was
busy.
there. Like, I took the weekend off, more or less, and wasn't going to play anything.
I didn't want to. I wanted to play things. I just didn't really have the time. It's just it's just been nonstop, just stuff to do. So I just really didn't get a chance to play. And then by the time I would get around to playing, I was like, I'm just tired. So I'm just going to go to bed. I did hop into Destiny 2 yesterday for probably about an hour and a half, if that, because they launched their 30th anniversary celebration stuff for Bungie. So I'll talk about that a little bit, just get that little news tidbit out the way. But so they had the 30th anniversary pack. It dropped yesterday. It added a new dungeon, a new 6-man activity, which is called the Dares of Eternity. If you know anything about Destiny, it's got Xur, who is this weird vendor that nobody knows. Like
everybody on this show made fun of the weapon about 15 minutes ago. I just want to point that out.
I don't see the chat at all. The Galahorn?
But Xur is a name, so I mean, weapon is not a name. That's a thing.
Oh, yeah. Xur
He's making fun of the name Xur versus weapon.
Oh. Yeah, weapon, that's just weird, especially when, I know she's an AI. Xur is just his name. That's the vendor, his name.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, Halo even implies that she's a physical weapon when he first goes after it. Because the guy's like, well, this better be a good weapon. And then you get it, and it's an AI, and you're like, well, this isn't a weapon.
And then she didn't have a name like Cortana. Like, she's just, I'm going to be weapon.
I think she does. I think it'll be revealed to us.
Probably.
Maybe it won't. Maybe they'll just call it the weapon. I don't know.
Does she just not want to tell him his name? Like, her name? Did Cortana not?
Play the story. Figure it out, Dev.
I'm not playing that shit.
I just think it's funny. Anyway. Those stones when they're like, and there's this dude named Xur. And
Xur is the Destiny version
but I was
of
confused
the guy from...
about weapon. Like, I didn't know that's what that was. I was confirming what that was. I wasn't making fun of the name. I didn't know that was what Cortana was, or the new Cortana was. Anyways.
Plus, Xur is literally the Destiny version of the guy, the shop owner from Resident Evil 4.
What do you
buy? What you bought? And he's like that kind of guy.
I know exactly who he is.
Did you play Destiny?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know.
I don't know if he did. But yeah, so Xur is who's the main person driving this expansion or this pack or whatever. We finally get to know a little bit more about like his history and who he is, because previously he just shows up with wares and you're like, who are you? And he's like, my will is not my own. I'm not here because I want to be. I'm the 9, whoever the hell the 9 are. So we're starting to delve more into that, and the little 6-man activity is fun. Xur talks like he's a game show host, which is also really funny because it's this really dry delivery. So it's just really funny. And he's got this horse, and he mentions the horse and what the horse wants you to do. It's funny. So it's a cool little, like, just throwback to Xur and having him be more of a forefront, because he was just like, at a point, it was like, what is Xur here for? He's just useless. Like, why is he even here? So now we have a reason. And with that, they also brought back Galahorn, which is like the OG just boss destruction. The weapon was just ridiculous. If you had Galahorn, you just melted everything in your path. So they brought that back, and they made it even more OP than it was before. It used to be a point where if you didn't have Galahorn, you got kicked out the group. So anytime you were trying to run a raid or anything in Destiny 1, it'd be like, you must have Galahorn or you're getting kicked. So what they did with this is, if you don't have Galahorn, one of the perks for the weapon was when you shot a rocket, it would impact, and then it would have all these little mini missiles that would impact again. So anybody who has a rocket launcher that's a legendary rocket launcher, but is not Galahorn, if somebody else in your party has Galahorn, your rocket launcher automatically gets those missiles as well. So there's no more you have to have Galahorn or you're getting kicked. It's like, as long as one person has it, everybody's got it, which I think is a pretty cool, like, nod to that, and also a way of kind of getting rid of that must-have Galahorn thing when you're trying to do some high-level content or whatnot. So that's cool. They also added, just because it's Bungie, it's Bungie's 30th, not Destiny's 30th anniversary. They added some armor sets from Marathon, which was their very first game, and then also they had a couple of nods to Halo. So the battle rifle from Halo 1 is in the game, as well as the Magnum pistol is also in the game. They're definitely called something different, but it is those weapons. So they have a nod to Halo in there, and people are really, really digging them weapons. The battle rifle is actually quite ridiculous. It just melts. It's really good in PvP, and if you get the right roll on it, you're just basically just curb stomping people. It's ridiculous. But the dungeon is a lot of fun. Me and my friends went through that last night. We didn't finish it because it is very puzzly, and we got to one point and I was just like, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I'm not doing this anymore. But the dungeon was fun. The 6-man activity is fun. There's just a lot of stuff to do in the game. So it was really fun to just kind of jump back in there for a while. I'm looking forward to playing that probably through the rest of December. That and Guardians, just jump back and forth. But I'm excited to be back in the Destiny world again. Glad there's something to do. And tomorrow we'll get more news about the Witch Queen expansion, which I'm also super excited about because they're taking it to a really interesting place with the story. So I am happy to be home again. So much like Donnie and his comfort food, I'm also playing comfort food. It's just good times for all. So
I don't know that it's comfort food for you. It's more like your regular diet.
That's true.
I mean, I haven't played
like anything different would be your dessert.
On his food pyramid.
Yeah, exactly.
8 to 10 servings of this, and then he sprinkles in some stuff on top.
Isn't that you in golf? Isn't that you in NCAA football? To be perfectly honest,
I hadn't played golf in months.
I haven't played Destiny in months.
PGA Tour. It's a really good game.
Yeah, I played Destiny. Last time I played was September 14th. Before that, I hadn't played since March. So
that's true because you've been doing Far Cry and Guardians, right? So it's yeah.
I've been playing so much other stuff. Like I really hadn't played Destiny at all, really. So yeah, good to come
That's
back home.
What happens when you play it for 4 or 5 years nonstop. Eventually you want to play something else.
I mean, I always played other stuff, but Destiny is just home. All right, son of a bitch.
It was definitely like a 2-year period there where you barely played anything but Destiny.
Yeah. Destiny 1,
yeah, that was definitely
Destiny
a thing.
1. Destiny 1, absolutely. Destiny 2, I played a lot of other stuff between Destiny 2 because Destiny 2 just wasn't as good as 1, to be perfectly honest, when it came out.
Yeah.
But I digress. You said something here about this holiday plans update. What are we talking about? What's going on?
Yeah, so I want to go ahead and start laying the bricks for the path ahead. We're going to record next weekend. It'll be the 15th, next Wednesday. And then we're going to record that weekend our favorite games of the year podcast. Is what we did last year, where we kind of grabbed a bunch of PSVGers and we threw them on a show. Last year was like Empire and Shaq. This year it'll basically be PSVG and Shaq. And we'll all jump on and we'll just talk about our favorite games of the year. You can do them in order. You can do them in no particular. It doesn't matter. Just our favorite games of the year. We'll talk about them, and then we'll talk about kind of what we're looking forward to next year. So we'll record that following weekend. So let me look at a calendar here. So we're going to record that on like the 18th and 19th, and then it's going to go out to patrons on the 22nd. So it'll fill in our episode for that week, and then it'll go out to the public the 26th, the day after Christmas. We will be off the 29th. So essentially, once we record that favorite games of the year podcast, we're going to have like 2 weeks off. We'll grab a show or two from the Patreon, as we did last year, and we'll push it out over the PSVG feed. So we'll grab probably a Dollar Cinema, maybe a Decade of Horror in our Strong Style, something like that. And we'll put it out kind of, just periodically throughout the week. I'm not going to do it like on Wednesdays or anything. I'll drop one like on Tuesday and one on Friday. And so if you're not a patron and you want to hear kind of what you're missing out on, we're going to give you a taste of what the DLC feed has for you. While we take a couple weeks off, and I feel like at least on the PSVG side, we could all use it. So I know I'm looking forward to it. I think Elaine's looking forward to it. So we'll be off the 22nd, the 29th, and we will come back officially on the 5th, which helps me at work as I get through this transition and New Year's Eve and stuff too. That's another big reason why I always kind of take the break, because work gets really busy this time of year for me. So
yeah. Perfect. Well, with that out of the way, let's jump into some news.
And now it's time for some news. And I'm not talking about some fake news, everyone. Fake news. I'm hungry. I want a hamburger. and some covfefe. Let's check out those gaming headlines.
Thank you, Wrench. I appreciate the segue. Big news story this week. According to Jason Schreier, Bloomberg, PlayStation is readying a new service codenamed Spartacus. Service is expected to launch in spring 2022 and will merge Sony's two existing subscription services, PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now, into one service. Documents on the project reveal 3 tiers of the new service. The lowest tier will essentially be what we know now as PlayStation Plus. You'll get online a couple of games a month. A middle tier will feature a catalog of games, more or less kind of what we know as PlayStation Now. And then the highest tier, which will feature all of the stuff before, plus extended demos, game streaming, access to a larger library of PlayStation 1 through 3 and PSP games. So, what do you guys think? A lot of headlines that ran the day that this dropped was PlayStation is readying a Game Pass, equivalent. This isn't that. Jason Schreier immediately pointed out that this doesn't include any plans to launch PlayStation Day 1 exclusives like Game Pass does. You're not going to have those. And as long as they don't have those, then it's not Game Pass. Now, does that mean that it can't be a successful subscription that rivals Game Pass? No, I don't think that. I don't think they have to do that. So I kind of sum this up as it's like a little bit of Game Pass and a little bit of Nintendo Switch Online. Mm-hmm. The most intriguing part of this to me is definitely the backwards compatibility. There's a lot of questions that I have. And then for more or less, I honestly look at this as a rebrand, and it's kind of a smart way for PlayStation to raise the price of PlayStation Plus is really kind of how I see this. What about you guys?
Now, you say backwards compatibility. Like, what do you mean by backwards compatibility? Because nothing of this says backwards compatibility. To me, backwards compatibility means I can throw in my PS3 games.
That is the suggestion. The suggestion from the article is that they would have some sort of enhanced backwards compatibility. I think PlayStation 3 stuff will remain streamable, but I could see PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 classics being downloadable. And maybe there's a bigger, decent library of that than what we got on PlayStation 4. They had 40 PS2 games you could download on PlayStation 4. Yeah. I wasn't very impressed with the emulation, but they were there. I also wasn't going to buy them, for I think they were $10 a piece.
Yeah.
But if you throw them all into a service, it is a little more intriguing, especially if you can round that out. Like the Vita had a great library of PS2 and PlayStation 1 games. So if you can get some of that in here, again, I'm thinking Nintendo Switch Online, you can grab 40 or 50 of those, some PSP stuff, and throw it in there. And I get my PlayStation Plus games, and I can stream PS3 games. And you give PlayStation Now, you have a service that I think is worth something. The question for me really comes down to value, as with most things do. Are they charging what Game Pass charges, or can they undercut them a little bit? Because if they can undercut them a little bit, I'm probably a buyer.
I feel like they've got to undercut them because they're not offering you.
Yeah, I don't think they have to at all. This is not how Sony is operated at all.
I don't mean that they have to in that respect. I'm saying they absolutely can undercut them because of the fact that there aren't going to be day one games.
I think $99 sounds nice.
I think that's what it'll be.
Yeah, that's $99 a year.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like you said, it's not a direct Game Pass 1-for-1 comparison, but I think it's 100% a great step for Sony to try and do something worthwhile, especially with PlayStation Now. And it's you have right now is you have a lot of gamers who sit there and say, okay, I want a PlayStation because I want those exclusives. I want my Uncharted, I want my Last of Us, I want Spider-Man, stuff like that. But then you still look at Game Pass, you're like, man, that is such a great deal, though. I should get in on that too. This may sway a couple people from saying, I don't need to buy an Xbox, I'll just do Sony's Game Pass, whatever the equivalent is, and I still get this huge library of games every month that changes because they do update the PlayStation Now every month too, so there's something there. You don't get the day-and-date first-party games, but I mean, Sony doesn't have any problem moving those units as it is, so I think as a business model in their mind, they don't need to do that yet. But yeah, if it was $100, I'm in on that. That's to me sounds fantastic.
And if
my only issue with PlayStation Now is
for day one stuff, that'd also be boss.
Yeah, well, yeah.
My biggest issue with PlayStation Now, because I've thought about subscribing a few times, is that they rotate games, especially the first party stuff. They come in and out, and they usually come in and out on short windows.
Pretty quick.
Yeah. I'd like to see that not happen. I'd love to see them commit to adding some first party games just when they hit. They don't even have to give me a time frame, but whenever they're there. You know,
Yeah, don't move those
I
out.
don't want to have to drop everything I'm planning on doing to play this game because they just added a PlayStation Now and I've got 30 days to play it. You know, I don't think that is the best way to sell a subscription service. A subscription service, you know, is Netflix. It's just open it up, pick one. You shouldn't be on a timer. That's kind of antithesis of what you're selling there.
Well, Netflix stuff is on a timer though. There are some stuff that is there's always stuff.
Yeah,
that's
but not
leaving
Netflix's big. Like
They're
their
exclusives.
big drivers.
originals. Yeah,
stay
no,
there.
but yeah,
You have
So if Sony were able to do
content
just their
drivers.
exclusives, right? If they waited like 2 years out and then had their exclusives on there and not have to worry about it dropping off, like The Last of Us 2 just got added back to PlayStation Now, but that was on there before, but it's for like 1 month or something like that. So now that it's there, just leave it there at this point. Like you're probably not going to sell a whole bunch of those units until they do a PS5 version, of course. But you know, as you remaster these games and they've been out for a while, you can go ahead and put them out on there and not have to worry about them dropping off. That's definitely a good move. If you're not gonna have them there day and date, at least know that once they hit, I got them and they're not gonna go away. That would be the smart
A
move.
perfect move would be to commit to it. Like, hey, all of our games after a year will hit PlayStation Now. Like, that's an easy way for me to buy it out of convenience because I don't play my PlayStation much. I basically only play it for exclusives. But I would likely just subscribe because like the ones that I want to play, I'll just buy. But that's like 1 or 2 a year. Yeah. But they have other exclusives throughout the year that I would potentially try if I had access to them. So, you know.
I mean you do, but yeah,
sometimes.
But that's the thing. Yeah, you give Donnie the value, he's way more inclined to actually try.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
and even third party stuff. They could get stuff that doesn't hit Game Pass or indie stuff. You know, are they going to launch indie games on PlayStation? And at a long track record
I was just gonna say they do get a good stream of independent exclusive indies on their platform too. So if they start offering those to kind of combat that too, you're right, that's a great value as well.
Yeah, like what is a Stray coming out this summer?
Yeah,
like I would love for that to be included in a subscription. Like the Uncharted collection. I think like this new Uncharted collection that got dated, that'd be a great thing to throw in the collection instead of having an upgrade fee. Make them subscribe. You're gonna make more money off of that long term anyway.
Absolutely.
You know, so like there's a lot of ways that this works well without them having to go full on Xbox because I don't think they can sustain the financial commitment it takes to do something like that. But I don't think they have to. And the whole, again, for me, this is a smart way because I think what this does is it basically admits PlayStation Now is just a flop, right? So they're like, what if we add it to Plus, but like we raise the price of Plus because some people will jump. Right, some people they can convert because they got a ton of PlayStation Plus subscribers. So if you can get 20 or 30% of them to add on more money to that, that's a huge win. Let them stream the damn game. You know, you're making more money that way.
Definitely a good idea.
Than a secondary service. You're making so much more money that way.
And let's be honest, the PlayStation Plus games most of the time, especially now, are leaps and bounds better than the games with gold. So that's one thing that they have some edge up on. If they keep that going the way they're going in the PlayStation Now, like, you don't get day one exclusives, but I do get some games, you know, that I wouldn't be able to get on Game Pass or PS Now added too. So that's another.
Some day one exclusives that come to PS Now. Like
that's true with the
day one exclusives that come to or PS Plus. So you keep that trend going, then you add all the extra stuff with whatever the tiers are. You've got a really good competitor to Game Pass. It's not going to be a competing 1-for-1, but it's a competitor, and that's really what you need. You need to have something in the space to compete with Game Pass.
And you don't necessarily
just like, well, I'm going to get this because it has all these games. Well, now we have something that competes to try to keep those dollars with PlayStation.
I think a lot of people when they look at these economics, it's always focused on how do you win? Like who wins? It's not about winning. It's about competing in the space. You don't want to seize the space.
Yeah.
That was a big part of the Vita and the PlayStation Portable. They didn't want to seize the handheld market to Nintendo. You want to compete in the space because those are customers. That's a mind share. That's long-term revenue and potential marketing, you know, that you're just giving. You're just giving it to your competitor. So you want to be in the space. So even if it doesn't do as well as Game Pass, it's still something to market, something to have in your presentation, and something to show value to your customers. And that's important.
And it'll still be better than Nintendo Online plus data pack plus expansion, whatever.
Honestly,
nonsense
this sounds a lot like Nintendo Switch Online.
It's
It's a little bit better, but it sounds a lot like.
Yeah, I mean, if you're throwing a library of PS1, 2, and 3 games and PSP games, that's
Dude,
pretty
I'm
cool.
telling
Especially
you,
the PS3, I'd be pumped
If I
for
get
some
Hot
of those.
Shots
Especially
3, Hot Shots
Right.
Out of
On the
Bounds, and
PS
Clock
now,
Tower,
yeah.
Resistance,
I'm
know,
there.
Infamous.
Nah,
all be
you're
good
not
to
going to
play.
get Infamous.
Why
I
not?
mean, it's already
PS3.
on PS now, so why wouldn't you?
You're going to have to
Like,
stream it.
Yeah, but still, I mean, just being able to play it again without, it's part of the service.
Yeah, no, you
Like
can.
I-
You can stream this stuff, but I want native. I'm honestly, it'll be a big part of my interest in this. Is can I download native backwards compatibility games? Can I download Hot Shots and play it locally? If I can, then I'm probably going to buy it.
If I can take my already existing PS3 library and be like, yeah, everything you had on PS3, it's still attached to your account, so here you go. If I
The
can't
problem
do that
is
as far as the
emulating
backwards compatibility is
PS3.
concerned, I could care less.
Emulating PS3 is a pain in the ass. That's why they went the streaming route to begin with.
Yeah. Yep.
Now it can be done. They could do it. It's just probably they're not going to invest enough to do it.
Yeah.
But it can
Exactly. The
I'm
investment
not
they don't want to do.
streaming shit. Yeah, if it's streaming, I'm not interested at all.
Same. I've tried streaming. I've tried
We're
streaming
streaming
Hot
right
Shots.
now, guys. Don't tell people not to stream. They're watching right now.
But this isn't interactive. They don't have to, like press buttons to make things happen.
Hot Shots is not a great
20
candidate
seconds
to
for it to
stream.
happen.
Like if there's a second lag, or latency on Hot Shots, screws the whole game.
That's fair. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So
Even Infamous, like that's not a good game to stream. It's just the lag sucks. I cannot. I can't do it.
I feel like if you got Infamous pretty close to like what you'd see on like Stadia, it's kind of just like a brawler, really, and especially the old ones. You just kind of run around the world and just beat the hell out of folks. So like you can just kind of button and mash your way through latency on that one. You don't have to be precise.
For me, it's
like
too,
Resistance.
It's too noticeable for me to play. I can't.
I
do it.
couldn't play with any lag. Like Hot Shots.
That's
Like I
true.
played Hot Shots and
Yeah.
I think I made it through 2 holes of Hot Shots and I was like, absolutely not. I can't play like this. Like, and it's one of those things where if you really know the game, you'll know it's there instantly. So
I can't do it. If I can't download it, I don't want it.
I love backwards compatibility. And I don't want to get my hopes up because of the stance that PlayStation has taken.
Yeah.
But I would love nothing else for them to have like a big presentation and show us a bunch of backwards compatibility support. That would make me so happy. That made me so happy to have my PlayStation 5. It's got all the power in the world to do it. So I
Definitely
hope
does,
that's what happens. But I'm not going to get hyped
go out
for
there
this
and buy a
yet.
4 terabyte M2 drive.
You're damn right I will. That's the day we start getting the storage upgrades because that would be amazing. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Think about Armored Core. There's a bunch of games I would actually like to spin up and play.
That's so funny. There's like nothing that
Clock Tower
this
2,
does
some
nothing for
old
me.
Fatal Frames, Dino Crisis, Parasite Eve.
Dino Crisis.
Man,
God, anything from the PS1
Metal
era,
Gear?
I look at and I just cringe.
Metal
I
Gear?
don't want to play Metal Gear. I have those. I won't play them now until they're remade. Like I have no desire to
I'll play
play anything from the PS1 era.
I'll play them again.
Like they just look like trash. I can't do it. But we also know I'm not the kind of guy who replays games or goes back. So like this really doesn't do much for me at all. Like I'm excited for it for people like Donnie and just to have something competitive for PlayStation. But personally, like this doesn't do anything for me at all, really.
Cool. Quake has a horde mode now. This is another game that I did play. I played it on Xbox and Switch this week. Comes part as a free update for Quake Remastered. It's made by Machine Games. You can play it locally, individually, or you can play it online multiplayer. You can play it co-op. Me and Jack had a blast playing on an Xbox the other day. And I played it on Switch with motion controls, and it's really fun. It's a little weird. There's no horde mode like on the select screen. You got to go into multiplayer and start a room and then change the match to horde, and then you can like pick your map and play. But I've really enjoyed Quake Remastered. It's been a lot of fun since they released it, and plays really, really smooth on Switch in particular. Like all these old retro games that they've brought back are a great fit for Switch. And Dusk, if you guys haven't played it, one of my favorite Switch games of the year. It's fantastic. So that's one of the news stories that came out this week. We've got some quick hitters that I want to get to before we talk about the Game Awards. So as we mentioned, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection's out January 28th. It's $50, or if you already own one of the games, the Lost Legacy or Uncharted 4, you can upgrade it for a $10 fee. Dev, did you see? So the upgrade was not 4K 60. You can do 4K 30, but they are including a high frame rate mode, which wasn't included in the PS4 version. But in the blog, they said that they're bringing it over from the previous version. So I'm wondering if they're planning on patching the game before this releases.
Maybe. I have no idea, because I was like,
that was confusing as hell. I was like, what?
For this?
I think we all were.
Is it not? Yeah, I need more details, because like you can say that there's a high fidelity mode that's 4K 30, but what is the 60, the performance mode? Like, it could be 4K 60, but it's missing ray tracing or missing some kind of extra additional features that's not in the fidelity mode or whatnot. Like, I need more details, because I have not played Lost Legacy, and I'll play it with the patch with 60 frames. So I need more details. Like, it's just really weird that they didn't go into a little bit more detail about what the modes actually entail.
Yeah, I agree with you, especially because you're charging for the upgrade. Like, what am I buying?
I was confused by the whole press release. I didn't know what the game was at this point. I'm like, what is this? Like, I thought it was like a new standalone thing at first, and then I read more. I'm like, oh, okay, it's 4 in the DLC. Yeah, standalone DLC, whatever.
I love Uncharted 4. It's my favorite Uncharted. I would love to play it again in super, high fidelity. I really wanted 4K 60.
Yeah.
We talked about Halo's campaign is out. It's got a lot of positive coverage. It's reviewing very, very well. There's a lot of discussion in the Discord and on Twitter yesterday about the campaign code not on the disc. So if you pre-ordered the disc and you got it early, like, you still can't play until it releases. Yeah. So there are a lot of people upset about that, which I think it's more in their right to. If you're upset about it, let Xbox know. Xbox has a track record of caving to public demands. So if you don't like it, let them know. It seems that strategy has worked in the past. It's a successful strategy. I don't think they're going to change it. That's just what I
don't think so either, because Phil will just look at you and go, if you have Game Pass, it was free. What are you complaining about? You didn't spend anything. Like,
Xbox went this path years ago. Like, with Game Pass, the way that they do DRM and the way that they check, physical games they've just been codes for years now. They're just license keys. Like, you can put the game on it and you can install from the disc, but it's still just a license key. Even if you had the game on the disc last night, you still couldn't have played it. Like, it would have installed and then you still couldn't have played it.
I think if they just made it live at midnight, it would have been less of a story. I think is really what it is. Like, people wouldn't even notice if it was like a midnight launch. Like, you think about all the first party games that have come out in a while. Sure. It's always been like, hey, surprise, you can play it early, or it's live at midnight. It's never been beyond that. And I think if that happened, a lot more people wouldn't be complaining about it. But you're right, it's a weird thing, but hey, it is what it is.
It's just like what Steam does. Like, they're just basically the exact same thing as Steam now. Like, you can buy copies of games on PC, but it's just letting you download the game.
Code. Yes. There's no actual physical disc. Even on PlayStation, like, it's installing and then saying, here's the license to let you play it. It's not running the game from the disc. It hasn't been doing that for years. Like,
see, these are things like on my Xbox, I completely don't care about it, but I'm also like mostly digital anyway. On my Nintendo, I actually do care, because storage is finite, and those cartridges, like, I want stuff on the cartridge. Like, I value the cartridge that way, especially because the games like BioShock, the cartridges that don't have all the games on them, they plummet in value so fast, versus the games that do, for whatever reason. I'm not sure if it's a collector's thing or if it's just related to that it's an EA thing, or I don't know, but it's something that I've always noticed. But on Nintendo, I do value that stuff, but I think it's more or less because your regular Switch has 32 gigs, right? So if you can play the game from the cartridge without downloading a patch, like, that's nice. It's nice to not have to install the damn thing.
Yeah.
But on Xbox, I personally don't care. Xbox skip ahead users can set custom backgrounds using the Edge browser. I'm excited to get into that. That's pretty cool. There are more rumors that Mass Effect Legendary is coming soon to Xbox Game Pass, as a new PC version was listed, and it's got the special code name that all the Game Pass games have. So you've got the Polish ad that listed it, and then you got this releasing. So it's probably coming soon. They'll probably have some sort of surprise announcement. Could be tomorrow for all we know, but it's probably coming soon. Grid Legends from Codemasters is out February 25th. The Matrix Awakens Unreal Engine 5 tech demo can be pre-installed, and I will go live. Is it live now, or is it tomorrow during the Game Awards?
I think it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Are you guys going to do that?
It won't be live. I might. I don't know.
Downloaded it.
Yeah, I probably will. I just don't understand fully what it is.
It's not a game, right? It's just going to be a video.
I don't.
No.
Like a
That's what I'm
cutscene.
thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to
It would
be
be
like a
awesome if they
cutscene.
announced the game. I'd be down for that. But as far as I'm imagining, it's just
Yeah.
gonna be like a tech demo featuring Matrix characters.
Right. If it was a game, I would have downloaded, but I'm presuming it's just like a
I would
cutscene.
love for it to be a game that's like a prequel to the movie.
That'd be cool.
Sweet.
That'd be cool. And then the last one, this came out of nowhere. There was a lot of speculation on Reddit that the last night, which you guys might remember as this cyberpunk indie game, pixelish indie game from years ago. We're talking 4 years ago, right? Will be shown at the Game Awards. Well, Tim Saray, who's the maker of this game, came out and said it won't be there tomorrow, but you will see it in 2022. This is the first time we've really heard about this game in a couple years because he got basically canceled. He said a bunch of Gamergate stuff like years in the past, but when his game came out, people found it and they Twitter did what Twitter does, and like he basically lost investors and just went away. I'm not saying it was unfair. I don't know. I haven't dug that much into it. I'm just letting you know basically what happened. So this game is still coming, and apparently we will see it next year. I was very excited when I first saw this game.
This looks dope.
It looked amazing. It had a very strong first impression. The reason that I put it on our list is I've been kind of keeping track of this game ever since, because I'm like, where is this game? Because I've had it on the back of my mind for a very long time. So won't be there tomorrow night, but it will be. We will see it maybe at E3 or something. I don't know. He just said 2022 it will resurface. So I'm very excited. So speaking of tomorrow night's the Game Awards. So I want to ask you guys what you're hoping to see, or you planning on to watch. I do not watch the Game Awards. I'll be playing Halo, but I'll have my Chromebook up and I'll be monitoring Twitter and see the announcements. I'll stop if there's a cool trailer or something, watch a trailer.
Yeah, I mean, I probably won't watch it either. I can't stomach it all. To be honest, it's too long. It's too much. Like you said, I don't have a problem with them doing a session where it's like, hey, we're going to make all these announcements and have all these trailers. But it's 90% of that and 10% of awards. So just call it something else and do like a, here's the game show and here's all these game announcements. It's very much award show versus just announcements. But the announcements are great, but I'll just do a catcher at the end. Or like you said, if I see a cool trailer, I'll watch that. And I think that's what I'm going to do versus sitting there through all of that. As far as what I'm hoping to see, I mean, like Nintendo kind of always has at least one surprise or one announcement there. Yeah, kind of hoping to see something there that would be exciting. Something that we haven't heard of already would be nice. And I know there's been some grumbling and some rumors of a possible BioShock 4 announcement, which would be really cool if that's true. I'm not holding my breath on it, but that would be something else that would get me actually psyched up. But
the game is being worked on.
I think it's going to be a lot of right.
I don't know if it's going to be there tomorrow. I mean, they'd be a good get, but there's a lot. Yeah, there are a lot of rumors about what that game is. Colin Moriarty did a breakdown of what he was uncovered. Reddit was coming through it. Like, there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah. I just don't know how many stuff is really going to be big versus, big to certain people kind of things. Like we know, there'll be a bunch of indie stuff, which, some of the indie stuff we see is great and some is just meh, whatever, but they're going to call it a world exclusive premiere. And you get all excited and you see it and you're like, oh, okay. Another pixel art game. Great. Whatever. So, but yeah, I'll just be monitoring the news as it comes through and watch the trailers as they pop up. But ultimately, I can't sit through that much of that.
I'm very excited to see Hellblade. Apparently it's going to be there tomorrow. It's been a long thing. The Xbox Insider's been saying it's going to be there for like 3 months. So I firmly believe it'll be there, and I'm excited to see it. It's supposed to be the first gameplay reveal, which would be nice. See where the next step of the game is. I expect The Wolf Among Us 2 to be there tomorrow.
That'd be great.
I'm very excited to see it, and hopefully it's coming out this year. And I would love nothing more. I would love. Did they remastered the first one, right? Isn't it like up-res? You can play it. I think they did like an Xbox One PS4 version.
Yeah,
it's not like it wasn't like a remaster, but it was an upgraded version.
But it still had their engine with all the jank, so it's
correct.
Like point.
Yeah. So I'd like to see that.
Game. So good.
On the Nintendo side, it's interesting. I know the world wants it to be Zelda. Could be. They've shown Zelda stuff in the past. Yeah. I don't think it is, but I don't know.
I don't think it is either.
I'm just guessing. They showed Zelda at E3, and I don't think they're going to show Zelda until they have a better look at when it's going to come out. So, I don't know.
I think they'd rather save it. I think they'd rather hold it and do more. Like instead of a 1 minute trailer at the Game Awards, I think they'd rather hold it and do like a 20-minute direct or something. And
if they do show
just on it,
it would give me some hope that it could come 2022. Because right now I'm operating that it's a 2023 game.
Sure.
So if they do show it again, maybe it's closer than I think. But I think they've got more stuff. Like they could show the Pokemon game, they could show the Kirby game. I imagine there's 2 or 3 other games that we don't know about. They're coming out before May from Nintendo.
Yeah.
And tomorrow would be a great place to drop one of those. Could be a smaller thing. You know, like they did Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Could be something like that. Could be another port
something like that
of a game. They could do Wind Waker or Twilight Princess. That story will never go away. Or like Metroid Prime, I guess. You know, like they could show one of
Star
those.
Fox F-Zero. Yeah.
Let's not get crazy.
Right. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to really anything per se. Like, I'm excited to see the new Destiny stuff, but for me, like, I don't want to see anything about a game that's like a year out. Like, that's just not me. I like seeing things that are coming soon. Like, if it's a year out, I don't even really want to know. So
there's gonna be a lot of stuff that's like 2 or 3 years out.
Oh yeah.
I could care less. Like, I don't really care if it's that far out.
Even
I
if it's
in 6-month intervals. So if it ain't,
even if it's like
in the next 6
BioShock
months,
or
I don't care. Honestly, no. I'd rather not know about it until it's close. Like that's just where I operate at this point now. Like I want to go back to the time when you got a game magazine with the preview or a preview for a game that was coming in a couple of months. Like I miss those times.
Spot on, could be Xenoblade.
I just don't. Yeah, like I'm with you, Dev. I don't want another thing like the last WB thing that they did. Not the fandom, but like the Batman thing where they showed Gotham Knights again and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League again. And I was all hyped to see it, and it was just another trailer, and you still saw nothing. And I'm like, these games were both supposed to be out like early this year, and now it's like next year. It's like, stop showing me stuff, especially if you're not actually showing gameplay at this point. Like
they're gonna have Lego Skywalker tomorrow, a trailer for it. It's be like the 5th year in a row they've had a trailer.
Right, and it's like at this point, like you don't need to show any more of that game. Just get it out. It's not going to look any different. It's still Lego.
This stuff doesn't bother me as much as you guys. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
I don't care.
It's marketing.
Good.
I think it's marketing,
totally
and any time that these folks can get an opportunity to reach one more person, they got to take it. That's just that's their business.
I totally blame Sony for how I feel because seeing The Last of Us for 7 years in a row.
7 years.
You know, I'm just like. I'm so
Final Fantasy. There's so many. They went on a run there for like 3 years, man, where they just show the same games over and over and over.
Like, how many times do I need to see this? It's like movie trailers. Like, I don't need to see a movie trailer 17 times for the movie. Just give me one. I just need one and show it to me. The difference
is a lot easier to make a movie.
I understand. I'm just saying, like, if the game isn't like close to coming out, man, wait.
You're just going to forget about it before it comes out. There'll be another trailer.
And I think that's why it doesn't bother too much. Like, I'm with you. I like getting excited for things. Like, I get excited for dates. But sometimes it works the opposite way. I was excited for Ghostwire Tokyo the first time I saw it because it looked awesome the first time we saw it. Like, the atmospheric trailer that it got looked dope. And then when you actually saw what the game was, I was like,
nope.
This isn't nearly as good.
Nope.
But sometimes it can work the other way too. Sometimes they'll show me games. I'm like, I don't know about that one. And then by the time you get the gameplay trailer and the story trailer, I'm like, oh no, this looks awesome. You know,
see, that's all you need is the gameplay trailer and the story trailer. Don't give me this cinematic nonsense about what you think the game might be. Give me the damn gameplay. Give me the gameplay trailer. Give me the story trailer. That's all I want to see.
What's that crazy? I want to say Square game. I'm not sure if it's Square. That's coming to PlayStation where, like, you drop through the portal and you go back.
A Square game.
Yeah, what's that game?
I've forgotten already because it's.
That's one of those. The more I see it, the more I'm like almost intrigued. I'm like, oh, this looks kind of cool.
Forspoken. I think it's Forspoken. That's the one you're talking about.
It's kind of getting.
Well, I was hype on that one when I saw it, but I think anything that gives me a female protagonist that kicks ass, I kind of want to play that game. Like that's just I don't know what it is.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I liked the. To me, it was the smoothest of the combat. It was heavy Bayo vibes. I'm like, this is cool because I like those games. I don't know if that is what this is or not, but you know me, love Devil May Cry.
That's what it looks like.
Stuff. I'll play all of those games. So
yeah,
Josh is attacking me. Josh, I enjoy Bayonetta games as well, and that's a female protagonist. So stop attacking me for the female protagonist thing.
It's only
I don't have a problem.
It's only
because
he's got to search for one.
Horizon.
Oh my God, no.
Horizon. Aloy. You like Aloy? No.
Yes, that was what I was thinking.
Yeah, he likes female protagonist games on PlayStation. Everybody else can kick rocks.
Bayo was on.
That's
Nintendo.
Because we only have good, games on PlayStation with story. Everything else that's not on PlayStation sucks. So
keep being awesome, Josh. Keep being awesome.
I just don't pick females when I have a choice. That's my cross to bear, I guess. If you want to attack,
Danny was the best choice. Danny was the only choice. The female Danny.
I loved it. I liked the male Danny too. He was hilarious as well. So I don't know.
I do both.
Yeah.
I went there for a strong 2 or 3 year period where it was all female, and then now I've actually come back, and I've started picking more male protagonists. But I definitely went female Danny. There's only one Danny.
I can't remember the last time I was given a choice between a male or a female and chose male. I don't do it. I don't know why. Females are just more interesting. We've had males like my entire 40 years has been a male protagonist. I'm just so bored of dudes. They're just boring.
Did you not play Metroid?
Cool dudes.
Yeah, she doesn't say anything, so yeah. But you know how I feel about Metroid. I love Metroid. Samus is bae. She's awesome.
Of course. Yeah. That's it, man. Yeah. That's all I got for the news this week.
All right. Well, before we get into these to these questions, I'm gonna go ahead and try these Terry's chocolate oranges that I found in Target. So I'm
good for you.
Well, taste test.
I can't believe you guys didn't know this was a normal thing. Like you and Josh was like, "What are you guys talking about?" Like Googled it right away. I was like, "You can get a Target like right now."
I'm not a chocolate person, though. By the way, so I wouldn't have known about it to begin with.
That's racist, Donnie.
Did you get the milk chocolate or the dark chocolate, Dev?
Maybe
I got the milk chocolate.
Good call.
It's really good. The nice little hint of orange. This is
like candy.
Delicious.
I like them. My wife hates them, but I like them.
In my chocolate. That's gross.
It doesn't taste like real fruit. It's like artificial orange. Like
I don't want that either. Like no, I don't want the hint.
It's like it's like an orange myconite. That's what
Oh gosh, but it's chocolate.
Yeah,
it's like that ruins it.
Chocolate is delicious. No,
now when it tastes like orange.
Damn it, Donnie. It's terrible. All right, well, let's get into these questions. We have a lot as always. So let's see. Let's start with something absolutely ridiculous. The Winter Gamer, he asked, if you were to be milked, what flavor would come out?
Orange chocolate.
I mean...
G Fuel? Is that what? Is that
definitely G Fuel. For Kevin.
Mine would be
if you want to go with the redhead joke, it'd be strawberry milk, I guess. Then, right?
I was going to say, Kevin, you're definitely strawberry milk, right? That's what I was going to say.
That's what I mean, that's easy.
Yeah.
Low hanging fruit.
I'd be coffee or cinnamon.
Rum.
Mine would be rum.
Absolutely, it would be rum. Gross. Just gross.
Rum milk.
It's like basically Kahlua.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Not bad at all. Yeah. Since we're talking about like game of the year stuff, Coach Hulk says, do sports and racing games deserve to be considered for game of the year?
Yeah, sometimes. This year, does Forza deserve to be considered? Yeah, Forza is one of the best games this year. You can tell me whether it is or
didn't Mario Kart previously
for you.
It should have been,
but I think objectively, Forza Horizon is one of the best games that came out this year. It's kind of there's almost no objection.
Yeah, I mean certainly they shouldn't be excluded from it based on the category that they fall in. Do I think genre, like year over year, like NBA 2K or Madden's going to be in it? No, because sometimes it's very minor changes, but for stuff that's absolute peak performance or of execution and gameplay style or something just different that happens to be a sports game, then yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we don't see it happen too often.
Some of those iterative titles, they make a leap. Sometimes they do change their engine and they do add a story mode, or like when they did the MJ mode, right? That was a big deal.
Right.
And at that time, they hadn't done stuff like that before, so it was big for like their genre, and they've done it every year since. So the luster kinds of wear off, but when they take big leap forward, they deserve recognition when it's done well. Now, Madden's story mode's a joke. That's all. Yeah. But yeah, I think sometimes they do stand out, and they should be considered.
A game like SSX Tricky,
NBA
Street right? Volume 2, those should definitely be considered for Game of the Year. Like something that's not your traditional iterative game a lot of the times. Yeah, like a Forza Horizon, definitely.
And I've said this a bunch. The fact that they're coupled together is kind of
stupid.
Yeah, it is definitely stupid. I was going to say borderline like offensive to those developers. Like it's not fair, right? Like the racing genre is such a popular genre of video game.
Yeah.
And there are so many options to choose from annually.
Oh god, yeah.
Annually, every year. There's so many options to choose from Even in down years, there's still, the crew and the grid and stuff like that. Like for them to have to fight basketball in FIFA is not fair. It is just not fair. It'd be like if you took shooters and RPGs and combined them into one category. That's not fair. It's not fair to any of those people. So I don't like that either. But it's just, it's reflective on the people that make up the award show. They don't care about them, so they're an afterthought. And I think that's one hill that I think it's worth dying on, because that genre, that one award category, makes up so many gamers, like so much market share, that it's kind of disrespectful, I think is the right word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Like to have that many millions of players and you to lop them all into one side category is kind of, it's disingenuous. It's not reflective of the gaming medium. It's not reflective of the market.
It's absolute nonsense. Needs to be rectified, damn it.
Yep. Agreed.
We sell racing wheels. You walk into an arcade, they're racing seats.
That's true.
But they don't get their own
That's
award.
true.
It's ridiculous.
It's the bullshit. Delvin Cox, he not here today, but still shows up in question for him. He says, "You're stuck in a time loop. Who are you getting in PSVG to believe you for one, and then help you get out of the loop?"
Not Devin. Just arguing with Devin is a time loop.
I was about to say, can we do who we definitely wouldn't and why, and then who we would? Because I think that would be fun.
I think Josh is sympathetic to all. So I would reach out to Josh and be like, dude, I need some help. And I think I got a good chance of him believing me. So Josh would probably be my answer.
That's a good one. Josh came to my mind too, just because he said the empathy that Josh has for like everyone. But then I also came to, for me, it would be Lucas as well, because he would just be batshit crazy enough to believe me and be like, all right, I'm down for some time travel shenanigans or whatever, like he'd try and Bill and Ted the whole experience for it. So I'd be down for that for sure. And I definitely wouldn't, no offense, Donnie, I would not pick you because we just argue. Like you said, it'd be the same thing. Like I wouldn't be able to get my point across. You'd be like, no, that can't happen. You couldn't possibly be in a time loop. That's just ridiculous. So we wouldn't get anywhere. And I just keep dying. So,
I was thinking I'd probably go with Elaine because she's smart and she'd probably figure it out. So
I don't know. I feel like she just say you're drunk or high or something. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I feel like she'd be smart enough to get out of it, but I feel like she might not.
That crazy Dev.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm in
take
no
a couple
rush.
attempts. Yeah, take a couple attempts to get out of the loop. That's all.
I think
Time
it would work
keeps on
with Dev.
ticking.
She's very fond of Dev. It wouldn't work for me and Elaine. She's just a Dev. She's just a Dev homer. So
Yeah,
Elaine would just.
I love me some
Elaine would believe you, Donnie, but then just let you suffer.
still leave me in there.
Yes, she would believe you and be like, "Not going to do anything to help you."
Yeah. You know who I'm not picking? Delvin, because he has no idea what he's doing.
No,
Says it all the
in
time.
any category of life, he has no idea what he's doing. So he would just be like, "Let's go to GameStop and pre-order some steelbooks," and that would be his solution to it.
Right.
You'd break the loop if you actually got the steelbook. That would get you out. So maybe it would work. I don't know.
Maybe. No, absolutely not. Not trusting it. No. All right. From Cal the Pug, he says, top 5 favorite Christmas movies of all time. Side note, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie.
100% Christmas movie.
Top 5?
Yes.
I've never
Top
actually
5.
thought to list them out.
Yeah.
I can do it. No particular order. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Absolutely.
That is on my list.
A Christmas Story.
Yep.
Home Alone.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's on there.
Die Hard.
Maybe.
And then I have to go, I think, with Elf as my 5th.
I've never seen Elf.
Probably not.
You ever seen Elf? What?
I'll go Bad Santa over Elf for sure.
Okay.
Never seen that either.
Probably not over Home Alone. I feel like I need to watch them all again before I can make up my mind. All right,
Yeah.
so I'll end you with this. Not only is it my favorite Christmas movie of all time, it is actually quite one of my favorite movies of all time, and It's a Wonderful Life. I absolutely love that movie. I think it's a timeless movie. I think it's some of the best American cinema we've ever had. It's a classic. And that's beyond Christmas movies and just all movies. I just absolutely adore that movie. So if I was making like a top 10 list of favorite movies ever, It's a Wonderful Life's probably on that list. So
interesting. Yeah. I'm going with Home Alone, National Lampoons, This Christmas.
I feel like
Scrooge.
I need to look at my movie show.
Oh, Scrooge is a good one. I like Christmas with the Cranks
Scrooge.
too, but I don't know if that'd be my top 5. But
Yeah, I like Christmas with the Cranks. You're talking Scrooge. You're talking about with Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
I don't like that one as much.
It doesn't
And I'm
like
not
you,
sure if it's
Donnie.
because there's a lot better Bill Murray movies. I think maybe that holds it back from me.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like as a Christmas movie, yeah, it's fine. And you know what? We completely forgot all of like the claymation Rudolphs and stuff like that.
No, I didn't.
I mean, dude, I love Rudolph, but then like as I'm getting older, I'm realizing they just don't.
Frosty.
I don't know. They don't hold up anymore.
I know my last one. Gremlins.
Gremlins is good. Gremlins would get in over Home Alone for sure.
I don't know. Home Alone is just so good.
What about
Yeah, Home Alone is definitely a classic.
Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm looking at these lists and I'm looking at the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie right now.
Jingle all the way.
Miracle on 34th Street.
Get the Turbo Man.
Absolutely not.
Sinbad.
No.
Sinbad. Yeah.
No Christmas horror movies for you, Donnie? There's gotta be a
I've
couple
never seen
horror
Krampus.
ones.
That's the one that always comes up a lot. I
Mm,
mean, Gremlins works.
Gremlins. Yeah.
I like Gremlins 2 more than Gremlins, though.
Me too.
Yeah,
actually.
Gremlins 2 is hilarious.
Gremlins
It's
2 is
hilarious.
great.
But that one,
Yeah.
I don't think that one takes place over Christmas, though, so I don't look at it as a Christmas movie.
It does not. No, but it's a
Nightmare
better
Before
movie.
Christmas?
Nightmare Before Christmas. I was gonna bring that up after Dev
See,
stopped talking. That
to
one's
me,
a great one. That's
I
a
like
white
that one,
person
but
thing, Dev.
we
I get
watch it on
It's-
Halloween. No, that's one of our favorite movies. We watch it, but we only watch it on Halloween.
Okay.
We never watch it around Christmas.
But see, it's more. So I'm in the
But
camp
it's
that it could be
about
both,
Christmas.
but it's more of a Christmas movie than it is a Halloween movie.
Yeah, that I agree,
I agree.
with Kevin there.
I'm not disagreeing there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we just
You just
never
when you watch it.
for Christmas. We
Well,
always
Trading
watch
Christmas
it
Places.
Carol
on
too is
Halloween.
great. Trading Places is classic. Yeah, I never think of it as a Christmas movie though. For
I
some
never think it was a
reason,
Christmas movie either. Yeah. No.
but Muppets Christmas Carol. That's my favorite Christmas Carol iteration because Hobby says Mickey's Christmas Carol in the chat. I prefer the Muppets one over that, but because Muppets are just dope.
Yeah. The Winter Gamer, who is now going by the Sleepy Gamer after having a child, he wants to know. He says, with cloud gaming really pulling some weight with being able to play the newest games when you can. Wait, this is just all broken. I'm gonna read it as it as
sleepy.
it's stated. With cloud gaming really pulling some weight with being able to the newest games, when can we see just paying for xCloud, and when do you think Sony will catch up?
Well, first I want to correct the Sleepy Gamer name tag was that was given by me from Extra Life when he actually brought a full size air mattress and took 2 naps throughout Extra Life in the corner of the room. He had like a queen size bed. I'm like,
Mad
dude,
respect.
rolled up. So he became the Sleepy Gamer. Yeah, I don't know.
Man of genius.
Yes, it was one of those moments. They're like, well, because I'm just playing. I hear the
Mr. Sleepy Extra Life Gamer.
noise of it filling up, and I'm like, what is going on? He's got a comforter out. He had a dust ruffle on it. I don't know.
You understood the assignment.
Smart.
He did.
Yeah, he definitely understood the assignment.
But yeah, cloud gaming. I don't know. I mean, if it really works, then yeah, I could see us eventually paying for just that. But like Donnie said, if there's any latency, that's the issue, right? With cloud gaming, I think just in general for streaming the game, period. So I think eventually, if it gets there, I don't think we're going to pay just for it. I think it just might replace the other options. Like, oh, you don't need to download anymore. Just stream it. Like, I think it'll be like that
That's
versus
the
paying for
value
just
added
that.
of Game Pass
Yeah.
is that
Right.
they've made it an option, but not the option. And I don't think
Exactly.
they'd ever split it out. There's no real value for
No.
them splitting it out.
No.
They don't want to go cheaper. They want to go higher. They want to make your subscription pay more, not less.
Yeah.
I don't think they're like going to reach more people by making it. I mean, it's already just $10.
Yeah.
You get Game Pass, for $10 a month, or all the deals you can get. God, I bought 3 years of Game Pass this Black Friday. I've got Game
Jesus
Pass.
Christ.
I seriously have Game Pass through 2027.
I mean, we have Game Pass.
That is
through
just
2027.
insane. Like,
I just keep stacking codes. If they want to keep giving me buy two, get one, buy one, get two, I'm going to take those free months. Because I'm telling you, man, they keep, if this Bethesda thing works out and they start dropping 5, 6, 7 exclusives, price of Game Pass going up. And you'll all be feeling, you'll be like, damn, Donnie was smart. I'm playing this like a futures market. I'm just investing in the futures, man. I'm sitting on oil reserves, right? I'm spending $1 today to get $5 in the future. Like, this is
Game Pass, the new NFT, right?
That's it. I've got codes for days. My thing that I keep my codes in is just like a list now, man. It's just I got to scroll now. I've got so many Game Pass codes.
It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. But no, I thought it was cool that he could jump in and play Halo like right when it was there. For some people that couldn't download, or if the download was going slow, like it's awesome that you can just play. I've used it a couple times to test stuff. Like I've looked at a game that kind of looked cool on Game Pass. It's like, I won't download that, but I don't know if I'll actually like it. So I hopped in XPlay and took it for a tour for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Most of the time I realized I don't want to play it. I stop and I never download it, so it worked out. It works out well.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. All right, we're going to do one more question, and then we're going to get up out of here.
We have so many questions.
We do have a lot of questions.
Do
you want to just plow through a bunch of them then and call it a day?
We should do at least like 2 or 3 more.
Right. So Yarden says, what does a perfect day entail for you?
Oof.
For me, at this point, sleeping in, being left the hell alone, and being allowed to play video games for hours on end without interruption. That is a perfect day for me right now.
I was going to say that, plus snacks. You need some snacks. But yeah, I mean, I don't sleep in ever. If I'm asleep past 7 a.m., that's sleeping in for me. So if I were able to actually do more than that, it would be...
Same.
No, I sleep in every weekend.
Dude, it just can't. My house is too jumping at all times, and it's like, even for the last 2 months I've had every Friday off because they made me use my vacation time even though I wasn't going away. So I've been taking Fridays off. I still have to get up at 6 a.m. to make sure all the kids are up. They're getting ready for school. They got out the door. I got to drive them there. Like,
old?
Yeah, but they don't take the car. I'm not having them walk, especially in this weather now. Like, it's like 15 degrees out when I wake up. I'm not having them walk to school. But I just make sure they wake up because they're teenagers. They don't always wake up. Their alarm goes off and they just hit snooze and go back to sleep. So I have to make sure I'm there to catch that last minute.
Way more responsible parent than me.
Yeah. My 6-year-old
get the hell up because I'm not.
7. Wow. Damn it, Donnie. Yeah, I
I'm
take both my kids to school in the morning. That's my thing. So yeah,
my sleep in Saturday is sacred.
They're up.
You used to hear me argue with my mother-in-law. There's so many times we'll have holidays and stuff. My mother-in-law was like, "All right, so we'll see you guys at the house at 10." Like hell you will. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
10?
I'm getting up at 10. And she's like, Jesus, Donnie. I'm like, what are you talking about? That is my time.
So what do you do on Christmas Day then?
To pay all these bills for that moment to sleep in on my Saturday.
What about Christmas Day? It's a Saturday this year.
What time are you getting up? Christmas Day.
Okay.
Yeah, we wake up.
At least you do that.
And stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what's early? Because if 10 is your regular.
Sure, 10 is early for Donnie.
No,
Christmas is on Saturday this
on Christmas,
year. So
my kids get me up usually around 7 or 8.
Okay. All right.
And we usually do a big breakfast and stuff on holidays. But I'm not going to like wake up early, get dressed and everything, and then drive 2 hours to my in-laws. Like, no, I'll get there when I get there. Y'all can chill. Okay? Like, I'm not imposing on your holiday. We'll get there when we get there. I'm sure the food will still be there. I'm sure everybody will still be there. We don't need to be there at 10 in the morning. That's absurd.
Yeah, I'm with that. Don't.
It's like,
and if it was me, don't come over. Stay away. Like, no.
Yeah, well,
you can come like around noon. Drop off the gifts for the kids, and then
I don't want any guests before noon ever.
No.
Yeah,
but yeah, I would love to be able to sleep in. It's just not a thing that happens very often. If
the time you're describing is very much like when Breath of the Wild released. I took a vacation and just had all day to just play Zelda, and it was quite amazing actually. Kids went to school, wife went to work. I was just off work playing Zelda. Like I literally took 10 days. My boss was livid. I took 10 days off.
10.
Had a staycation, did nothing but play Zelda.
Wow. My wife would probably cut me multiple
Went out to
times
eat.
if I attempted such nonsense.
I went out to lunch, got food, came back, play more Zelda, take a nap, play more Zelda. Like all I did.
See, I've taken days off to play games. Like I've taken days off for Destiny expansions. But even with that, I'm still taking the kids to school. I'm still getting up, taking the kids to school, and then I come
I'm
home
not
and play
doing that.
because it's the least I can do. Like, I'm going to be off. I'll take the kids.
Man,
I'll
look
let
at you guys.
enjoy your day.
I'm such a selfish person. That's all I'm learning. It's just how selfish of a person I am. I absolutely not. I'm not doing that.
Hey, but it works
I
for
am
you.
jealous.
Like, I mean,
I am envious.
right? It's not what we do, but you're not divorced yet, so it's like it's
My
all
kids
good,
on the
you know?
bus. We don't take our kids. My kids ride the bus.
Yeah, see,
My
we're too
daughter
close. We're
takes
too
the
close
bus
to the
home.
bus, but we're too far away to walk, really. So it's like we're just on the outskirts of it.
Yeah,
And then I walk
my
the
daughter
6-year-old
takes the
because
bus
I
home,
walk
but
with her
I'm
there because it's 2
terrified.
blocks away. But yeah,
Yeah, you could definitely walk. I mean, both their schools are miles away, so they both take
Yeah.
the bus. My daughter now rides like with her friends and her mom. They take them. They have a carpool, so she hops in the carpool with them, and I'm not taking them. I laugh. My kids are like, "You're gonna take it to school? Ah, you better get on that bus."
I'm terrified of not taking them to school or somebody not picking them up. Like,
Really?
it worries me. Yes.
Nobody ever took me to school ever. Hell, I walked.
Nobody
to school
took
in
me to school
Columbus
ever either.
in
Like,
the
same
winter.
thing with me. Yeah, same with me.
yeah,
I
Kevin's
walk
like,
all
it's
the
too
time.
cold
nobody
to go.
took me
I'm
to
like,
school.
man,
I
nobody
walked to
gave a
school and
shit
walked
about
home
that when I
or
was a
took the
kid.
bus.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's a
I did
different
the same
era,
thing.
and kids are constantly getting snatched, especially out here.
really?
Like, I'm always seeing
Oh, yeah.
some kid is getting snatched up. So I'm terrified of that, and also I'm just gonna keep it 100. Like, they're brown skinned. I'm just worried. I live in a very, very Trump era or area. Like, they're just. So I'm
Yeah, we
always
live
worried.
different worlds, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had to
Yeah.
worry about that. But I walked.
I mean,
to
I always
school
walk
from
too, but yeah.
kindergarten to 5th grade, like when I was in Columbus. But it was like it was a commuter town, like bus passes and stuff. Like I could get around in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Like you can't do
This
that.
wasn't
here
a
in,
fear
like,
of mine when I
in
was a kid.
rural
I was
Georgia.
never
You
worried
can't-
about that.
You can't get around as a kid.
And neither were our parents, Dev. So
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like,
we were
it
just
was,
allowed to do that,
it
but that
was
was
a
the same thing.
different era. Like,
Yeah.
in LA, we were fine. Like, that was not a thing. But now, like, times have just changed, and I'm just like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
I don't know. This child trafficking stuff is real.
Creepy.
The amount of like stuff that I see from our news about kids missing is just like, dude, this is just. Yep, I'm
That
dropping
and
you
the,
off. No
the
problem.
neighborhood app on my Ring, the Ring, I get the neighborhood alerts, and like all the time they're like, my kid's missing, this is missing. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah.
Jeez. We don't have a lot of that around here. I gotta be thankful for that at least.
They're like, my deer is missing.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Somebody broke into my barn.
Somebody
We
stole my
actually had
shotgun.
somebody. Funny story. We actually had somebody lose a goat. He ended up in my yard, and my dogs were going absolute apeshit. He got stuck under my porch and couldn't get out, and my dogs were losing their freaking minds. We legit had a wandering goat in our yard. It was like a year ago. Just went outside, man. It's just somebody's goat. We're like, hey, you come get your goat. So
That is so
Real story.
random.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody come get your goat.
Goat.
Wow.
And they showed up too. Pickup truck and everything. About 4 of them.
Did it have like a collar, like who it belonged to, so you could call him, be like, come get your goat? Like, it's
No.
like a cat. Like,
We posted a
So
picture
how-
that there was a goat in our yard, and like these people were looking for their goat. They were like, "Holy crap, we've been looking for him all day."
wow. The differences between city places and this rural place that you live
So
in.
I'm like, "You better get your ass on the school bus." I'm not getting up, putting shoes on, taking you to school. It's ridiculous.
See, I wake up at 6 a.m. So I get
Hell
up at
with
6
that.
a.m.
That
I
sounds
go
awful.
upstairs. I make sure my kids are waking up. And I don't wake them up right away because I give them like a half hour at least. But I log on and I start
What?
working at 6 a.m. So I'm already working. Like, so Donnie wakes up at 10. I've already been
Now,
working
you got to
for 4
remember
hours.
though. But what time do you go to bed?
I go to bed like midnight, 1 a.m.
See, I go to bed at like you guys see when there's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference here.
You're going to bed when I'm going to bed, and it's a
Yeah.
3-hour difference.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Right. That's always my clock has never been the early morning clock. I've never been the person. I've always thought like if I got
I'm not an
older,
early morning person. I hate it. I just.
I've
don't
always
have a
thought that if I
choice.
got older, like every old person I know wakes up super early. They all do. Like my dad.
That's
my
because our
grandpa,
back hurts and we
They
gotta
all-
pee.
They all
That's
just
it.
wake
Like,
up early.
Yeah.
And I always thought
not
that I
like-
would
it's not
grow
'cause I
into
want
it.
to.
And as I get older, like I feel like I grow further away out. Like, it's nothing for me. I'm usually up 2, 3 in the morning every day. But I'm not up at 6.
Yeah.
But that's just my natural clock. I've always kind of been on that rhythm.
6 a.m. So I can
That's
already hear
miserable.
it calling me.
I'd quit my job if they were like, you've got to be up at 6 a.m. every day.
Oh no, I don't have to be up, but I'm up and I can
Right.
work. I work remote
I'm just
now, so I
saying
can
if
log in
that
and
was
start
what
working.
it was, I'd be like,
Yeah.
fine, I'll do something else.
Like, no thanks.
I'd
Pass.
change careers. Yeah. Pass.
Hard pass. Oh my God. All right. Last question. From Grouchy. He says, this is for mostly Donnie. A lot of games came out that you were really looking forward to. Some were severely disappointing. Which ate the hype the most and lived up to what you wanted?
Kenna ate the hype. For sure.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Can't remember them all.
For
Death's
me,
Door ate the hype.
Oh, yeah, that's going.
For real.
Guardians, for me, it was better than I was expecting. So, like, that really blew me away with how good it was.
I think that's the
compared to what I
case
was
for
thinking it
most
would be.
everybody that I've heard talk about it, is that seems to be the thing, that the expectations were so low. And because it's coming in over expectations, there seems to be a lot of hype for it.
Yeah, it's I mean, and it's really good too. Like, I tempered my own expectations deliberately. I kept telling myself it can't be that good, and then it was great on top of it. So,
Yeah. For me, it's definitely Death's Door. Death's Door ate all the hype, took it and ran away with it, and came back and gave me some more hype. Like, it just keeps sprinkling hype throughout the year. Like, I'm playing through it again on PlayStation, and we'll probably play it a third time so I can platinum it with the umbrella, because that game is just good.
I mean,
It's exactly what I needed.
I bought a Switch copy. I'm going to play it on the OLED. I'm excited.
All right. Well,
But yeah, definitely Kenna, Death's Door definitely ate the hype this year. In what was mostly a miss year. I had so many games that I was really excited for, and just by the time I got my hands on them, just wasn't as into them.
yeah.
Like Ratchet. I loved Ratchet my first 2 hours with that game. I was like, oh my God, it's incredible. And little did I know, like, just nothing else really. The rest of the way through, it was basically the same. I was expecting like this big PlayStation game, and it was like, no, that's basically it. Like, oh,
Really?
okay.
Maybe it's because this is my first and only Ratchet game that I've played, but I loved it.
I
From
thought it was
start to
great.
finish.
Yeah. But I get it. It didn't change as you kept playing. It's a platformer. It just kind of stayed the same
Yeah,
as it was.
basically the same.
I get
Same
your point.
enemies,
You were
same
expecting
stuff,
it to change? I just figured that's how all platformers
I mean, that's what
are,
I was
just
doing, but
the
I
same.
understand where Donnie's coming
You
from.
add a little bit more to it. I was hoping definitely a more diversity, better story, just more stuff. Just
I
didn't
love the
it just
story.
Didn't
was
do that
very
for me.
cute.
No,
It's
didn't do
very
it for
cute
me.
little Story.
For me,
No,
I didn't
care.
like it as
You're
much
wrong.
as you, Dev.
You're wrong, Donnie. You're
Yeah, see?
wrong.
Every time I have an opinion he disagrees with, he just starts shouting over top of it. For me, it didn't
for
work.
you, and you are wrong. Just
For
because I
me.
said so.
Didn't work.
Big meaty men
That's fine.
slapping
I
me.
get it. I totally get it.
And then No
All
More
right, well, that's
Heroes
gonna-
was kind of a mess. And Mario Golf was kind of a mess.
Kind of.
Okay, we're just gonna go out on depressed. So we're just gonna cut this down.
No,
more.
hang on. Eat the hype. The medium ate all of the kinds of hype for me this year.
Was that this year?
had hype?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a game that's been completely forgot about. It came out in January. The
Oh,
medium.
okay. I thought it was last year.
Fucking
I did
awesome.
too. I was gonna say, wait.
Loved
Remember
that
the launch
game.
title?
Liked it a lot. And really liked it a lot. And yeah, so I had a couple in there that really worked out.
So you had a good beginning of the year with the medium, and you're having a good end of the year with Halo. But everything in
I think
between
Halo's
was just
eating the
like,
hype.
meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More so than like like Far Cry was like whelmed. Like it was basically what I expected. And same for Forza. Forza is exactly what I expected it to be. Halo, it seems better than I expected. Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Let me go ahead and thank these live on air producers before I forget. Thank you guys so much for being patrons. Mr. Michael Masick, Edwin Calo, Stephen Keller, Nick Creature, Paul Callicoat, Kyle Haiman, myself, Josh the Bonesaw Borbone, RJ Kern, Horse Girl 69,
Nice.
Zach Adams, Joe Wilson, Michael Taylor, Trucker Sloth, Brollin, and Jason Carter.
Carter.
Sorry, I can't
Mr.
read.
Carter.
Jesus.
Mr. Carter. Yeah, can't read today. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jason. New patrons.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And with that, play some video games.